Hey guys, I've had a couple questions about the chase game, so I'm going to make one for you guys here real quick, and then we'll do all of the different challenge options, and that way you guys have an idea of how to do it if you're struggling, okay? So this is the chase game PDF. I'm just on Google Classroom. I opened up the PDF, and we're going to get started. So here's the order that we're going to make the different blocks. So the first one is move left and right, and it's just going to allow our sprite, in this case, which is a robot, to move to the left and right when we use the arrow keys, okay? So we're going to use the galaxy backdrop, and we're going to use the robot for our sprite. So I've got a Scratch open here. We're going to click the create button. I'm already logged in. Alright, and you can see we got a blank canvas and we have a cat. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click over here on backdrop, and then we're going to go to backdrops. And we're going to click this thing down here and go to the search bar in the lower left hand corner, and we're going to search for Galaxy, and you can see there's Galaxy. We're going to click it, and it should load our Galaxy here. Seems like, there it goes. I was going to say could not create project. Well, it did what I wanted it to do, so we'll keep rolling with it. Alright, so we've got our Galaxy backdrop. Next thing is we're going to go to sprite, click on the cat. We don't want him to be a cat anymore, so we're going to go to costumes, and we're going to delete the cat. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to search for robot. Okay, and now that we got a robot, we can delete our cat. Okay, so all the code for this is going to go on our robot, which is sprite number 1. So if we go back to our activity card, we need to get when right arrow pressed and then get the change X by 10, okay? So I'm going to go to control, not control, events, my bad, and we're going to get the when right, so it natively says when space key pressed, but you got to change it to right arrow. And then if you go to motion blocks, you get the move 10 step block, okay? So when right arrow pressed, move 10. So if I press the right arrow, you can see he moves to the right. Now if I push left, up, or down, he does nothing. So we need to change that. Okay, so there's two things you can do. You can click over here and go back and get the blocks again, or if you right click here, you can do a duplicate and drag it down, and then you can change it to left arrow, and then you'll change it to -10. Okay, so now if I go right, I can go left. So our robot can move left and right. We are done with step 1. Okay, step 2, move up and down. It's going to be very similar. We're still working with the robot in the galaxy, so we're just going to add the code when up arrow pressed, change Y by 10, and when the down arrow pressed, change Y by -10. So you can think of the Scratch area over here as an XY graph. So left and right is X, up and down is Y. So we're going to grab the when up arrow key pressed, and we want to move, I guess I did move there. You can do move or you can do change X. My bad. We're going to change Y by 10, and then I'm going to duplicate it and change it to down, and that one will be -10. Okay, so we don't confuse anybody here, let's get rid of move and let's do the X, because that's what they did. So change X by +10, and then this one will be change X by -10. Alright, so now if you click over here, you can see we can move up, we can move down, we can move left, we can move right. So now you have user input. The user who's playing your chase game can now control the robot with the arrow keys. Okay, now we're going to add the star. Okay, so we're going to choose the star sprite, and then we're going to add this code to it and then see if it works. So down here in the bottom right hand corner, we're going to go to choose a sprite and the magnifying glass and type in star. So here's our star sprite. So this code over here has to go on our star sprite, where this code up here, you can see the robot's right there, it goes on the robot. So now we need to put this code on the star. So we're going to go back to Scratch. We're on the star, and we need to go to events. So when green flag clicked forever, glide 1 second to random position. So those are the 3 blocks we need. So we got when green flag clicked, we need the forever loop, all right, and then we need the glide to random position, and it was 1 second. So now if we click this, you can see our star is going to glide to a random position, and then we can try to chase him. Chase the star. All right, so that's working perfectly. So go down, play a sound. So now we want to add the code. First we have to add a sound, and then we're going to add the code. So if my robot touches the star, we play a sound. So we're going to need when green flag clicked, forever, if touching star, then play collect sound. All right, so let's go back to our Scratch editor, and we're going to go to sounds, and the collect sound is already there. See, that's nice. So then go back to code, and then we need on our robot, so see right now we're on the star, we have to click over to robot. We need to add when green flag clicked, forever, check for if something is happening, then do this. All right, and so then we're going to go to sensing to get that touch one. So if the robot is touching, change it from mouse pointer to star. So if we're touching star, we want to go to sound and play a sound. We're going to play, oh, I guess we have to get the sound on this one, my bad. We had collect on the star. So go in, add a sound, go to collect. There we go. Let's get rid of meow. I can play meow and change it from meow to collect. So now when we're touching, we should hear the sound. Let's see if it works. Yep, I hear it. Okay, so done with step 4. So now we're going to add score on step 5. Score points when you touch the star. Okay, so this was where it's going to get a little bit tricky, okay? But just bear with us. You guys can do this. You're going to be fine. So we have to do a choose variable, all right? And then click the make variable button. We're going to name our variable score. All right, once we have that done, then we're going to get the 2 blocks. One is going to set score to 0 when we click the green flag, and then the other one is going to check, or we've already made this. So if we're touching star, now instead of just making a sound, we're going to change our score by 1. All right, so let's go over the Scratch editor and do this. So down here you're going to see on the left side, variables, it's orange, you click it, and then you're going to click make a variable, and then we're going to call this variable score, and this variable is for all sprites, just leave that there. Click OK. All right, so then now we're going to grab a set and change it to score to 0, and then we're going to change my variable by 1, change score by 1 when I'm touching the star. So we didn't recreate this set of blocks, we just added to it. We added the 2 score ones. So now if we click the green flag, when we touch the star, our score should go up and play a sound, and you can see it is working. Our score is going up. All right. And then if I click the green flag again, see the score resets to 0, just as it should. Okay, we're done with step 5. Moving on to step number 6. So now we're going to make a level. All right. So the basics of the level is the background's going to change when a score reaches a certain amount. All right. So we're going to click the backdrop on the bottom right. We're going to add a second background called Nebula, and then we're going to add this code to the robot. All right. So we're going to say when green flag clicks, switch backdrop to Galaxy. Wait until score is 10, and then once score is 10, switch it to Nebula. Okay. When backdrop switches to Nebula, play when sound. So we're going to do all these 2 blocks of code on the robot and add the Nebula. All right, let's give it a shot. So first things first, we're going to bottom right corner. We're going to click this and search for Nebula. We found it. We've got our Nebula there now. And now we're going to add the code. So when green flag clicked, we're going to go to looks. Switch costume, switch backdrop to galaxy. That's the first one we want. Yep. And then we're going to say, go back, wait until score equals 10. So that wait block should be under control. Wait until, right here. And then we're going to go to operators to get that green block. So we're going to wait until something equals something. And then if we go to variables, we can get the score block right here. So we're going to say wait until score equals 10. All right, and then once our score hits 10, we want to do something. What do we want it to do? We want it to switch the backdrop again, but this time it's going to be Nebula. Excuse me. All right, and then when backdrop switches to Nebula, we're going to play the wind sound. So go back to events. We're going to say when backdrop switches, change it to Nebula. And then we're going to go to sound. We're going to play a sound until done. We have to add the wind sound, though. We don't have it. So click sounds, bottom left-hand corner, search for wind. There's the wind sound. And now let's try it out. So hit the green flag. We got to touch the star 10 times. 2. One more time. Oh, it happened so quickly I didn't hear the sound. Did it play the sound? Oh, it played collect again. That's why. Play win. Oh, hold on. I got to try again. All right, it worked. Okay, we'll keep on going. Victory message. Show a message when you go to the next level. So we're going to say level up when we hit 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new sprite, but instead of use one that already exists, we're going to click the paint option and we're going to write the word level up. The 2 words level up. All right, and then once we get level up written, we're going to use these blocks to make it hide at first and then show when the backdrop switches to Nebula. And wait 2 seconds and then hide again. Okay, and then this is the last one. Okay, so we're going to click the sprite, go to paint. All right, we're going to click text. We're simply going to write level up. I feel like it should be all caps. What do you think? Level up. Okay, and if we want to change the color, we can do that here. They kind of have like this orange color. And then if you want to change the font type there, you can. I want to make it much bigger. And then that one's, maybe we should take it down just a little bit. It's really bright. Yeah, that's ugly. Oh, green. It's supposed to be like a orangey yellow. And you can play around with this. I'm sure you guys can convert it. You can do backgrounds. You can do all sorts of different stuff. I'm just going to make it say level up. Okay, so now we've got it. The words level up. And then we're going to go back to our code. And we need when clicked hide. So we're going to go when clicked. And then under looks, we're going to get a hide block. All right, and then we're going to go back to events and get when backdrop switches to Nebula. Now we're going to show it and then wait for 2 seconds and then hide. So remember the wait block is here. We got to wait seconds. Wait 2 seconds and then hide it. All right, let's see if it works. Yep, it works. All right, so that's it for the basic chase game. Now you had some options for the challenge mode. All right, so we had to choose 3 from this list. Add 5 levels. So right now we have 2. Okay. And if you want to take it a step further, you could make it decrease. You don't have to, that's optional. All right, add a third sprite, make it subtract from your score when you touch it, change it so from a chase game to a dodge game. So if you do these two things, those go together. It's gonna become a dodge game because you have to dodge it. Add a timer that counts down to the game over screen, and then add a high score and record the user's highest score. So this fifth one is really hard to do. Kudos to anybody that got that one done. These other four are definitely easier choices. So I'm going to do 1 through 4, and then I'll try 5. If I fail at it, though, then we may just call the video at that point. Okay, so on number 1, add 5 levels. Okay, so we have, right now, if you go to backdrops, we have 3 backdrops, but we don't need this one, so we're going to get rid of it. So we need to add some more backdrops. I'm going to stick with the space theme, I think. Alright, so let's do moon and, oh no, space. Stars, and then one more. You get to the space city to win. Okay, so then go back to our code. So right now it says switch from galaxy to nebula when score equals 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to say we're going to duplicate. So now when the score equals 20, we're going to switch it to moon. Okay, and then we're going to duplicate it again, and we're going to say when score equals 30, switch it to stars. And then one more time, duplicate if star is equal to 40, then you're going to be at the space city. Alright, and then we're also going to make it so we're going to add this in here. So when we switch the backdrop, we're going to play the wind sound. Okay? And then we're going to change this one to when space city, something's going to happen. Okay, so the wind sound, play wind. Okay, so let's see. Let's give it a shot here. Oh, we're going to have to fix our level up, right? Because it's only going to level up on 10. Okay, so this appears to be working, but hold on. Before we continue testing, let's check our sprite. So when switch to nebula, show for 10 seconds. When backdrop switches. So there's a couple different ways you could do it. You could just add 5 of these. But that's not necessarily good programming. For now, we can just do it like that. So when we switch to nebula, when we switch to moon, whoops, we're not doing comments today. Duplicate when we switch to stars and when we switch to space city. Sorry about that. So now we should get the level up when we touch. Okay, appears to be working. Alright, so there we go. We've got our 5 levels, and we even added level up. If you want to do the challenge here, what you have to do is, I'm not going to do it, but what you have to do is instead of making this equal to 10, you have to do like a greater than, less than thing. So you have to say if the score is less than 10, it's galaxy, and then if it's less than, If it's between 10 and 20, it's nebula, and so on and so forth. Okay, add a third sprite, make it subtract points. So we've got our sprites down here. We just have to click here and pick whatever object we want. Let's pick balloon. And oh, I kind of wanted it to be red, but oh well. So here's the balloon. If you want to change the size right here under size, you can change it. Like you can make it a little bit smaller if you think like that's too big. Or if you want to make it bigger. Like your robot's pretty big, so you could shrink him too if you want. Okay, so remember under star we had forever glide to random position. So we're going to do something very similar here. So we're going to say when clicked, the green flag, forever, we're going to glide to a random position. Okay, and then back here under robot, we're going to say inside this block, this thing right here, we have if touching star, change score by 1, play collect. So we got to get another if then, but now we're going to say if touching balloon, right? We're going to change score by -1, right? And then we can play it, we can get a different sound. So go to over here to sounds, and let's see, what's like a bad sound you think? Cough. Ew, crickets, that's terrible. There we go. We're going to play the duck sound when you lose points. So play duck sound. Oh, I forgot to change score. There we go. I was going to say it's not working. So the only problem with this programming here, and you can fix it, like I said, if you want to do the challenge, but if you go to the next level, oh wow, that duck is kind of annoying. If we can get to the next level, well anyways, if you get to the next level, what happens is if you hit the balloon and you go back below 10, you're still going to be on the nebula background. It's not going to switch. So that's why you'd have to do the greater than, less than signs here instead if you want the levels to correspond with your score exactly. But that would get you done with number 2. Oh, I did the challenge, made it subtract. Okay, change it from a chase game to a dodge game. So now if you wanted to, you could hide the star and you could set your score to a high amount, and then you would just try to dodge the balloon the whole time instead. That would make it a dodge game technically. Or you could leave the star and then have it be a dodge game. So if you did those 3, boom, you're done. It's over with. Add a timer that counts down with a game over screen. So this one's a little bit more tricky. There's a built-in timer, but it doesn't work all that well. If we go to sensing, I believe, yeah, see timer, reset timer. But this one only counts up. So you'd have to say we'd have to start the timer. So see, now we have a timer, and see, since we have to add a reset timer. So if we go here, we'd have to put reset timer right here. And then see the timer counts, and then we'd have to add some blocks that said, so we could do another sprite like we did before. We can do a text box, and we can just type game over, right? And then we can make it huge. Okay, and then we go to our code here, and we're just going to simply say when green flag's clicked, forever check for this condition if so if our timer equals 30, then we are going to show this sprite. And then when we click the green block, we'll hide it. Okay, so we'll see what happens. Dude, we are getting owned by a drone. Oh, didn't work. If timer equals 30. I was thinking that might not work. So you might have to say, instead of if timer equals 30, we probably have to say if timer is greater than 30. We'll also need to add a wait block in here because it'll flip so quick we won't be able to see it. Yeah, there it goes. It's supposed to stop all sprites though. Stop the script, stop all. Oh, there it goes. It stopped all. Okay. Yeah, it should stop everything. So that's one way you could do the timer. Another way you could do the timer is you could go to variables and you could make a new variable called timer, and then you could set it to 60 or 30 or whatever you want, and then you can change by -1 in the forever loop, forever change by -1, and then it will count down if you want to count down instead of count up. That's another option. Okay, last one, high score. Add a high score screen. Record the user's high score. So this one's a little bit tricky. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to come in here and do some broadcasting, which is something we haven't done yet. It's a little bit more of an advanced skill. But like, so I could say when all this happens here, broadcast message 1 to signify game over. And then over here we can add, we'll add one more backdrop from space. It can be the neon tunnel. Okay. And then for under backdrop, we can say when backdrop, no, wrong one. When I receive message 1, what am I going to do? I'm going to switch to backdrop neon tunnel. All right. And then I need to say high score. So we'll make another sprite that says high score. Nope. We're going to make it. Okay, and then we need to high score. Our timer's just running. Well, I mean, I guess the easiest thing to do, and I'm not sure if I can even program it, would be just to move the score block down here. But if we wanted to, so here's the tricky part. If you wanted to display score with like a sprite, because there are sprites that are numbers, you can do that, but then you're going to have to be able, you have to write a lot of code that says like if, here, hold on. I'll show you a quick example. We got to add some sprites. So you can see like, yeah, we have numbers. Okay, so let's say if we only want to do between But see, what ends up happening is we have to stack them on top of each other, and then we have to say, like, hide 0, show 1. So there's a lot of logic here. This is very challenging. If anybody wants to learn more about this, uh, email me, and I can do a separate video because this is going to take a while. But we'll just leave it at this for now. So I showed you, we saw all 4, and then number 5, like I said, I'll leave off. It's a little bit more challenging. If you want to see it though, let me know, and I will make a video just about number 5. Okay, if you guys have any questions, please email me. Otherwise, we will see you out there. Hope you guys get this assignment done, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.